Shane Smith Law Attorney Samantha Gordon goes after a drunk driver who's driven 4 times, previously drinking and driving, caused a head-on collision, and knocked our client's vehicle into an embankment on the side of the road, and gets a great result for our client. My name is Shane Smith, and today I'm talking to one of our attorneys here at Shane Smith Law, Samantha Gordon, one of our recently settled cases, JS. So Samantha, tell us about JS's case. How did the accident occur?
Yeah, so our client JS, he is 30 years old. He was involved in a very serious accident when a drunk driver crossed the center lane and hit him. The impact caused our client to lose control of his vehicle, and he ended up running off the side of the road into an embankment. Our client's vehicle was totaled, and it was a brand new truck. So his property damage was about $34,000.
Wow. And I assume they hit head on, and then he spun off to the side, or they just sort of sideswipe him?
It was head on, and then he spun off and he went into the embankment. So it was a very scary situation for the client.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Now, how was JS hurt in the accident?
So JS, he called us about 5 days after his accident because he began feeling some pain. We were able to get him some assistance with treatment. So he had soft tissue injuries. He was treated at a chiropractor and an orthopedist. He treated for about 2.5 months for his injuries.
Okay, so it sounds like he recovered fairly quickly from the accident itself. How did the case proceed from there?
Sure. So because this was a DWI, we handle these cases differently, and there's 2 reasons why. So the first reason is that a DWI cases, they're considered more offensive just in nature because someone's driving drunk on the road. It's obvious, but when someone intentionally gets behind the wheel while intoxicated, they have broken their contract not only with their insurance company, but also with every other driver on the road because they are now endangering everybody with their reckless behavior. So the second reason what we do is when an accident involves drunk driving, there are damages called punitive damages that we can ask for. So punitive damages are additional damages that are meant to punish defendants who conduct any type of grossly negligent or intentional behavior. So to add weight to our case, what I did for this is we contact the county where the defendant lived and we order their criminal history. So we want to make sure that we get their background to see if this is behavior they have done in the past. And in this case, not only did he intentionally drive drunk that day, but he had 4 other counts of driving while intoxicated in his record. So that helped bolster our case when we presented it to the insurance company.
I'm sure, yeah, because it just takes away the whole argument that this is a one-time thing. It just happened once. In this case, 4 other times is just horrendous. And you wonder why that person was ever on the road at all.
Yep.
So how did your argument go with the insurance company? Obviously, I'm sure it carried a lot of weight when you said, hey, your insured has been caught drinking and driving 4 other times. So how did they respond?
So we were able to get this case, as you said, settled pretty quickly because of the evidence that we did gather to show their insured was driving intoxicated. And we also had medical evidence from our client's treatment to show that they were also injured from the accident. So I provided in my demand to the insurance company the criminal history of the defendant. So that, as I said, it only bolstered our ability to get the case settled quickly. So with that evidence, we were able to settle this case for policy limits that were available through the insured's policy.
Wow. How did JS respond to the settlement when you talked to him about it?
He was very happy. I mean, he was upset that he was injured. He was upset that, his brand new truck was ruined, but he was happy that he was able to get a fair settlement for, what happened to him.
Great. What is some advice you would give our listeners to if they're involved in a personal injury case?
So what I would say is, our job is to know the law. And when you have an attorney that is experienced in this area of law, we're on your side, and we have the ability to help you in cases that you may not know are available, such as a DWI, where there are additional damages available, punitive damages to punish a defendant who is intoxicated and driving on the road. Great.
Well, for listeners out there, thanks for listening. Remember, if you're in pain, call Shane, 980-999-9999. Or you can order our free book, The Victim Survival Guide to Car Accidents, at shanesmithlaw.com. If you're hit by a drunk driver, Samantha would be happy to talk to you and represent you. Sounds like she did a great result here. And hit like and subscribe down below, and catch another client victory next week.
980-999-9999. 980-999-9999. Shane Smith Law. In pain, call Shane.